to Bizchicks TV. We're here to help you take the hassle out of your hustle so you can build a profitable business that's fun to run. Here are your hosts.
Hey everybody, welcome to Bizchicks TV. This is the place for tips, tools, strategies, and everything you need to take the hassle out of your hustle. Today is Tuesday. That means the digital diva is in the house. Coach TJ, our marketing coach, she's right here right now bringing us the latest, the greatest, and the best information that we need for social media and digital marketing. So get something to write with and be prepared to take action. So without further ado, here's TJ.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to another week of Marketing Talk, where we talk about all things marketing strategy, trends, and just whatever you need to know to build your marketing strategy, keep your marketing plan going, especially in times like this. Now, I was looking at the title, because I always title these things when I set it up and I go, I don't remember the title. So I was just looking, sorry.
Yes.
So the topic today, build the asset. I wanted to say build your asset, build the asset, but I called it build the asset. Okay. Now, how did I get to this topic? Because, just a recap, we've been talking about you can't do followers anymore. That kind of thing doesn't work anymore. The algorithm doesn't go by your followers. It goes match. It plays the match game. It tries to match a user's interest with the content. So that's why we say you have to focus on making the right content for the right audience. You want to make a match, a target, matchmaking. You want to do all that. And I was talking to my assistant, one of many. I have Jessica, and then I have the second assistant. I'm trying to think of his name. I call him James. I might change his name, but James, I had a discussion with James and we were talking, and it was like, we were talking about marketing and things like that. And they were like, well, build the asset, not the noise. I said, wow, that's something right there. And let me make sure I got it. Said, build the asset, not the noise. Your job is not content volume. Your job is to make assets for your business to grow, especially now where everything is going. So let's talk a little bit about asset, because the word asset, it applies to the finance industry, and it also applies to business. Now we're talking in the business terms. So we want to get straight on the definition, because you're like, asset, you may know what it is generally, but let's get the specifics. So an asset is anything you own or control that has monetary value and can provide current or future economic benefits. See, there's two parts. It has value, monetary value, money, but it also has to provide current or future economic benefit. That means it has to provide you more money. It just can't sit there. Okay. So, asset, in the business terms, we're saying an asset is something of value that a company expects will provide future benefits. So they work on things that's going to provide benefits now and in the future, because a business, a corporation is always about growth. We have liabilities, those are costs, operational costs. Those don't go away, fixed costs. But we have to look at what are the things, as a corporation, they look at what are the things we can do to make this asset provide more in the future. All right. Now, assets can be a broad category of tangible and intangible items that play a critical role in any business. Simply put, a business cannot operate effectively without assets. That's what James told me. You don't have any assets, you're not functioning as a business in the broader business industry term. If you're not doing that, it's for fun. It's a hobby. Not even charity, because the charity has to operate kind of like a business, but their objective isn't to produce a product. Their objective is to help. So, but they still have to The successful ones will operate on a business platform. Okay. Dr. Taji is here. Good morning. I don't know why I've decided to sing that. Now let's look at the key features of an asset. For something to be considered an asset, it must have 3 properties. Ownership. A company must own and control the asset. You or the business has right to use it and benefit from it. Number 2, economic value. An asset must also provide economic value. It can be sold, exchanged, or used to generate cash and income. It must provide monetary value. Third is resource. An asset must be a resource, which means it can or it has or can be used to generate future economic value. That's the word, future. Now and in the future, an asset. An asset. Okay. So now we all know if you generally think about an asset, cash, money, investments, real estate, it can be vehicles, it can be inventory. But I want to talk today about intangible properties. That could be trademarks, copyrights, patents, software, customer lists, and brand value. Those are intangible properties. We're talking about intangible assets for business. Okay. Because why? We're dealing with a lot of online presence. Everything is online. It wasn't that way 20 years ago. You can have a brick and mortar. Now today, you can do a lot online. But there's certain things that you have to know and have put in place. But we're going to talk about those things. So intangible assets, because you're like, assets? No, I'm talking about intangible assets. That could be intellectual property, software.
Mm-hmm.
That could be customer list. When James said customer list, I said, oh, you got my ear now. That means an email list, a CRM, a list of people that you're dealing with business-wise. Yes. That is an intangible asset. Did everybody know that?
We know now.
I mean, I kind of knew, I was like, yeah, an email list, it has value, but it's an intangible asset. If we're talking business terms, I like that. So, now what are intangible assets? Let's get in. It gave me He gave me the definition. Intangible assets are non-physical resources a business owns or controls that provide long-term economic value, such as intellectual property or brand elements, unlike tangible assets like equipment or buildings. Okay. So we're talking intangible assets. Now let's look at that list again. Brand value, email list, software, IP, loyal. It could be your reputation. It could be your brand voice, your brand, personal brand. What does everybody talk about? Oh, build your personal brand. Why? It's an asset. And an asset does what? Provides monetary value now and in the future. So the key is in the future. Because we want growth. Everybody, I want growth. I want more customers. I want more views. All of that is growth. All of that is tied to growth. Okay. So I wanted us to be on a level playing field to know assets. What are you talking about? So, and then because this is James and James knows me, James said after our conversation, this is what James said. For a digital marketer like you, intangible assets such as strong brand, proprietary content strategies, or client databases could significantly boost your agency's valuation during sales or funding rounds. So they were talking more of like, okay, to get funding, angel investor, whatever. But I like that it said for me, a strong brand, proprietary content strategies, or client databases. Client database is a list, an email list, something that you build. We've talked about email lists before. You own it. It is yours. Social media, you don't own. This is why we always get into the discussion and people get mad when Adam and Sari gets on Instagram and says blah, blah, blah. And they comment, what about chronological? Well, we want everybody to see. You don't control Instagram. You don't control Meta. You don't control LinkedIn. None of those.
No.
but you do control your email list, which you are paying a provider to give you the tools and the things you need to market to that list.
Yep.
And some of them you can start out for free. MailChimp starts out for free. It used to be like 2,000. You can have 2,000 on your list, which is a lot. It's not small. But I think they reduced the number. I'm not sure.
Yeah.
But they reduced the number. It used to be 2,000. I remember that. It's
right.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And I don't know exact numbers for them anymore.
Every time I log into something, they go, oh, well, you got to upgrade, or we're reducing your, and I understand what they're doing. I understand. I can't get mad because I don't control that.
No.
I logged into something yesterday thinking, oh, I was going to, because I had the free version, but they're always asking me to pay. I'm like, I'm not ready for that because I haven't really used your tool. And now they're going, well, your free is over. Pay $9. I was like, well, I might, but let me think about it because I can go in the back and Rubik's Cube something for me. That just takes some time. See, it's always time or money.
Yeah.
Running your business. Time or money. You decide.
Right. And there are still some free alternatives out there, but how long they'll be free is always a mystery.
And then here's the thing. I hear a lot of people go, oh, I don't want to, it's a lot of work. So I'm not faulting those people. You have to be in the right mindset to say, I'm going to build a house or I'm going to buy a prefab house because it saves time.
But even if you buy the prefab or you build it, you'll still have maintenance.
Yes, there's still things. There's operational costs. There's always operational costs when it comes to anything. That's why they tell you free is not free. Free is not free, people.
You've been telling us this for a while. You still got to go to work. If you if you bought the farm, even if the farm popped up with all of the animals and the pigs and everything is all on the farm, when you get there, it's all pristine and looking all like a farm. You still got to go out there to maintain that.
That farm dream. Every New Yorker, everybody on the East Coast in an urban area dreams of a farm. It's a beautiful sun-filled place where you run through the fields of sunflowers and you throwing and the sun is shining. But when you buy the farm, it's just a piece of dirt and there might not be anything there. You like, where's the farm? Where's the farm? Hard work, get to work, or you pay somebody, or a combination book, but you decide.
Farms are work, and they are, because even if it wasn't, even if it came already prepackaged and with the animals and built, you still are going to have to maintain that maintenance.
And you have to look at it, like I'm saying, the person that's doing it is coming from a place where they did not grow up on a farm, but they have the visual idea of this beautiful euphoria of a farm from the movies or wherever they saw it on TV. But it's like, okay, that's a set.
Right.
Built that.
You have to go out and milk the cow. When you have to go to the chicken coop and get the eggs. When you have to go and,
the cows, round up the goats, get the. You know how to round up a goat?
Or you have to go and hoe the rows of cabbage or whatever.
Put the fertilizer, we could go all day with the things. And I was just thinking like about a set, because like the new season of Bridgerton is out, and I saw Architectural Digest put out a video about, let me show you how one of the sets in the castle for the queen, and they were showing how it was empty and they put all this stuff. But you watch the show and you go, oh, that's beautiful. I want that. You don't see all the work that went. Somebody, the set designer with all their assistants, talked about, well, we put real gold leaf up here because this is the queen's residence, so it has to look real versus just slap some gold paint up there. So I just thought about that, was like, that's the work they put in to make it look so good.
Dr. Tachi said the only thing people know about farms is singing Old MacDonald. And she said, I don't want to do any of that where you
True.
have to do all of that
Right.
work.
And see, there's some people that love to garden. They love to get their hands in the dirt. They would be in heaven with that kind of thing. And there's others where it's like, what? Like we talked about Green Acres all the time. That's a perfect example of coming from the urban situation of the dream of a farm, and it's easy living, and it's all in the theme song, all of what he was dreaming of and wanting to get out the rat race and all the smoke and the fog and the dirt and the congestion of New York City. He wants to get away from it. A dream. See, a dream.
Dr. Tarchi says, see, and people confuse gardening with farming. Farming is a whole different level.
Listen, you have to talk, and this is what I love about social media. If you want to know about real farming, all the farmers are on TikTok or YouTube Shorts or Instagram, wherever you want to go. There's even farmers, that small farmers, black farmers, any kind of farmer you want. They're out there making the content. And I saw one gentleman that was a farmer, and he was talking about, you know, whatever was going on with the government and and all the things that was happening with the money. He was saying, well, you know, we've been doing without, so we're good. It's the larger not conglomerate, the industrial corporate farms that are not doing so well, or the farms that are not small. He's a small farmer, so he's like, I'm doing good. And he was out there, you know, doing something with his goats or doing something with his cows or do something with an animal. And he was talking. He was talking like, this is hard work. You think it's Hollywood. See, Hollywood has messed up things for a whole bunch of people. Just making it look so easy.
Well,
okay, so that's all right. So that's enough talk about farm. We talk about farming all the time. Because really, that's what it takes for social media. It looks so easy. And you have the dream, but there is work involved, and some people don't want to do the work, but you know, you have to do the work. Hold on a second, I gotta send a message.
Yeah, so all of this building the asset in real estate, we can sell businesses as well, right? And one of the biggest parts of selling a business is the list of clients, the client list.
Yeah,
that's an asset. You know, yes, the chairs, the table, the desks, the chairs, but now most people don't have desks and chairs and phones and right. But that list, that client list, what do you think the hackers are after?
Data
is big right now.
Big,
and so
big.
Data is, you know, so when there's a data breach,
it's gonna be a bigger thing. Data has always been this big thing. We've talked about it since Cambridge Analytica. We've talked about it since the hacking of this, that, and the other. Just, you know, put whatever thing you want to go in there. But data that's the new mining. That's the new gold. That's the new everything, because we are online all the time. Everybody, I won't say everybody. I keep saying everybody. Most people have one of these. It's in your hand. Some people have the meta glasses. You have a watch. You have an iPad. You have a Android tablet. Whatever you have, you're connected. Everybody from 2 on up, 2 to 90. Everybody has a device. Just about everybody. Even some of the third world countries that you're thinking they don't have a device, they have. Or they got some devices. They might be sharing it, or it might be, you know, whatever level, but they have it. You know, we're a connected world. We're global now. So we have to think about who will be watching this video today and in the future globally.
Yep.
Something to think about. Something to think. So you have to build the asset. So we're talking about that. I want to explain what the asset is, because you're thinking in financial terms, yes, but there's also the business terms of the intangible assets, and that's where we are now. That's where the growth is going to be, because the intangible means that it's not connected to physical things. It can become physical products, but it's connected here.
Yes.
Your mind, intellectual property, whatever you can think of. And guess what? We got this handy little tool that can help you with that. Well, I don't know what to think of. You got something to help. You have something to help. Now we're in the discussion of, oh, it's, it's bad, it's evil, it's this. It's same thing with social media. Oh, it's bad. Listen, it's AI, it's coming. We've talked about it. The horse and buggy people can tell you what's going on. The people that made the whips can tell you what's going on. The gaslighters, we talked about all those things. So I don't even get into that discussion where I see people online, oh, this is gonna take my job. Well, if you know the train is coming, get out of the way or jump on when it passes you.
What?
The train is coming. I'm going to stand here for. No, I'm going to be like, okay, I'm going to jump on. You seen the old movies where the hobo jumps on the caboose? The train passes. What do? Free ride. They hop and run and get on the caboose.
Right.
Caboose is the last car.
So, here's the easy thing. When it stops at the station, get on
or get off. Either one. There is no. That you're what was the old movies where the damsel in distress is tied to the railroad track and the dastardly with the no, you're not tied to the railroad track.
No,
you're running aside it to get on it, or you're going the opposite way because you don't want anything to do with AI, and that's cool. Nobody's forcing you, but it is coming. Just like the computers.
Like when you said get on or get off the train, there are people who are getting off and sitting on the bench. I'm getting off at the next stop. Okay, they got off at the stop, and the train came by, and they're sitting on the bench. It's okay.
Yeah.
You just might have to pay people who are riding the train to get you some information.
Right. You might have to pay more later or transfer, or, all of these metaphors we're using. Really, people, it's the same thing in the business world when everybody did things pen and paper and then the computer came along. It was the same thing. It was the same thing.
I recently went to a hospital to visit somebody, and that they did not have a piece of paper. They were looking up people's data and stuff on a phone.
The phone or tablet. They had
it in the phone. We see here that you did blah 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 blah. It was on the phone.
Okay, so I'm glad you brought that up because I'm watching The Pit. Does anybody know about the show The Pit? It's about a hospital in Pittsburgh. It's an emergency room, and they take one day. Each season is one day, and they break it down into hours. So the last couple of episodes, I hope I'm not spoiling for everybody. I'm sorry, but they had a hack. They didn't have an attack. There was a threat of a hacker attack. So the IT department shut down all the computer systems. So the young interns and residents was like, well, what the emergency director, which is Noah Wiley, which I think he just won a whole bunch of awards for The Pit. He said, hey, we're going to pen and paper. Pull out the eraser board. The board that you write on with the young kids, the young doctors was like, what
do we do?
How do we paper and pen? And he was like, this is how we did it before in the dark ages. Then the head nurse pulls out a big machine, like it was huge, and she sets it on the desk. The nurses go, what is that? And she plugged it in, and it made, it made that noise. They were like, what the heck is that? She was like, this is a fax machine. I died when I saw that episode. It was so much fun because they didn't have the board. Like Fran said, they have devices, they have their phone, they have iPads. All of it is digitized for ease, so they don't have to retain it. But he was saying, like, when he was coming up, it was in here because they had to write it down on paper. Like everything had to be written down. So then the nurses had to have a system of this, when you do this to the patient, do this and do it, this and this, and circle this and check that. And they were lost. The young doctors were lost. And then right before they found out it was going to be the digital board was going to turn off. Noah Wiley's character said, somebody take a picture quick of the digital board. Somebody took a picture, but it was blurry. So they didn't know, because it's full. Like, they've got patients in rooms. They don't know what, they talk to them, what tests. So one of the young doctors said, I know everything. And they looked at her and they were like, what? She says, I have a photographic memory. So she sat there and she told them, well, patient this and this and room and this. So they wrote it down on the erase board. If they didn't have that, they would have had to go back through and ask every patient in every room and out in the, in the areas in the halls, what are you here for? They had to go through it, but she remembered it. So I was just thinking about that before the digital age that we're in, where everything, the knowledge that we have to retain, we don't have to retain it anymore. It's in the devices. But if they go down,
where is it?
Yeah, we've seen the cloud. Dude, something happened with AWS a few weeks ago.
Yep.
The cloud went down. The airport shut down. Remember that airport thing? It was a couple where no flights, because they need digital services to run. But it wasn't like that. There was a time when the airlines ran the planes without that. like what? So I just remembered that was the episode from The Pit, which is a good show, by the way. It kind of draws you in if you're thinking like it's all like hospital stuff, and there's a little bit of that, but it draws you in, and it's like a clown. What was that show? 24, which I never watched, but wasn't it 24 like with, that, where it was
Kiefer Sutherland? Yeah.
Yes. Didn't he have a show? It was like by the hour or something. So The Pit is like that. Like every episode, they start out 9 to 10. 10 to, it goes through the day, and then the season's over, which I'm like, But they had a good episode where there was a threat of a cyber attack, and IT said, well, we're going to shut it down so we can, build up reinforce the defenses so they don't get through. But then they had no warning, no nothing, so they had to shut down. I was like, wow. But they went back to paper and pen. They went back to clipboard. They didn't have the little fancy phone. Well, they had the phones, but there was no internet, so they didn't have any service. They were running outside to, putting the phone up, trying to catch a signal. It was crazy. And it just reminded me of how far we've come to where we depend on the devices. And it's because we took everything out of here and put it into the device.
And so the people who have the intellectual capital here are an asset. That young lady that with the photographic memory,
she's an asset.
They need to pay her up her pay.
The guy took the picture, but he was trying to hurry up in his phone, and they were like, he said, I got it. And they showed it was all blurry. They was like, we can't do nothing with that. It was just crazy. But it just reminded me of, there was a time, everybody, when we did not use a phone for everything. We did not use a computer for everything. When I went to school, we had that mimeograph thing. I remember that smell of that thing.
Where you were trying to make copies, and you
had a particular smell.
Yeah, the ink was all.
Yeah, the ink. Yeah.
Okay, yeah, but these are advances from the previous, when there were people writing on the walls, painting on a rock or something.
Smoke signals. People used to smoke signal. People used to telegraph. You can watch all these shows that go back in time, and you go, wow, they had to put up with that. But that's that's where we are now. So hopefully everything, if we could keep it online, we're good. We're good.
And you prepare for contingencies. You prepare for hackers that's going to try to disrupt the system. And so, when people are doing the ransomware and all of that, okay, at one point, nobody prepared for that because nobody ever thought somebody would do that.
That's right. Nobody
And
thought
then
of it.
and
Nobody
then when
thought
it
of it.
happened, they put some safeguards in place, like, okay, we can't let this happen again.
Yeah, because when it happens, then they go through the experience of it, and then they have SOP, standard operating procedure. They have a book to say, oh, well, when this happens, XYZ, because we did this before. We always had a knowledge base in our support. When I was working IT, we always had that. We would just, a user would have an issue, and we would go, okay, and we would look it up in the support
In the knowledge
database and
base.
go to fix it. All right. Or,
Right.
Some of them retained it, but if it happens a lot of time, we already knew, like our, the people at the help desk, which is the front line when people call the number, whenever the phones went crazy, we always like, oh, the network's down. We didn't even, it got to the point where we didn't even go into like the room and ask the network guys, what's going on? And like the phones lit up like crazy, like the woo, like the network's down, you log out. That's all we did was like, nothing you could do. Nothing you could, but when is it coming? I don't know that. Log out, go get the coffee.
When it comes back, it'll be back.
And most of the time it was the legal department because, they're working on stuff and they're, we got to get this. I don't know what to tell you. You're going to have to go to paper and pencil if it's got to be out by a certain time. Dig up some paper, print it and run it over. I don't know. But we always knew, like, because usually the phones did not light up crazy every day. It was manageable. But when the phones and all the little lights lit up, and it was like, oh, the network's down. It's a thing. So you just, those are things you learn. So, but I was just saying that, your asset in your mind, we have tools now. We have AI. It's a good thing or a bad thing in your mind. It's a good thing in mine. Yes, there are ways for it to go wrong. There's ways for anything to go wrong, but we have to use it and keep moving. And that's what, really what we talk about here all the time is like, what's coming up? What's happening now? How do we deal with it? How do we pivot? How do we change our strategy? What's the next thing? So you got to always be thinking about what could happen, what's coming. So you build your asset because, like I said before, you're not, everything is different with social media. If you're using social media for that, it's not about, okay, I have 1,000 followers, I want all 1,000 to see them. We're in a world now where anybody anywhere can see you based on your content being the right message at the right time, hitting the right mark, connecting. They see you. And here's the second part of the build. This is the part about building the asset. You have to have the system to allow for them when they find you, when they connect, because everybody talks about going viral and then they go, well, what happened? I went viral. Where's the money?
Well, because there was no system to gather the people in, service them, and ask them for more later. You did not have a system. You just went viral and all the people flooded in and couldn't get what they needed, so they went somewhere else.
Exactly. And that's like, because I did, looking at the history of New York City and other places, when, we always talk about way back when in the 1800s or whenever, they had something called an aqueduct. I'm like, what the heck is an aqueduct? That's the thing that collected the rain from, wherever it was coming. And then because our water comes from Croydon, someplace upstate, gravity through the aqueducts gave us the water, and we still have. There's one over. I think there's one I saw the other day. It still works, but it's like that's how the water got through.
But it's the same way here. It's the same way here. The water starts up in the Sierras,
right?
And that's how LA gets. That's how Los Angeles gets their water from coming through the mountain down. And it comes through the mountain and it keeps going. And it's still,
it still does that, but there's other things like we have a reservoir and, all the. So I didn't want to get into that, but I was just saying, like, the rain comes out the sky. It doesn't, well, let me go to New York City. It's like it gets collected somewhere and they have a system of aqueducts and pipes and things and that, and it comes through and this and that, and you get the water. Same thing with the, oh, I went viral, where's my money? I'm like, well, you don't have a system to collect the people, and not even going viral. You can right now, because of the way things are set up, especially like with YouTube or anything, they make it a point to find the person that needs your video. And once you do that and they watch some of the video, you don't have a way to catch that rainwater so you can have water for your garden or your house or down the street or whatever. You just go, well,
oh, that was nice. You watched the video, but you didn't have a call to action in the video.
Yeah, a call to action in the video. The way YouTube set up, you can set up the next video that they watch. In the video, you tell them don't leave, watch the next. There's all kind of things in the description that you have things for them to go places. So see, that's the part that people forget. Like, I went viral or more than usual views on a video or a piece of content, but you did nothing to where they they went through the system that you set up. People call it funnels, and I'm like, you really don't have to call it funnels. You can call it something else. No, it really doesn't have to do that.
But it's an asset that you need to set up to capture, to be able to, okay, because if you want to help somebody, you got to have a way to help them. We keep talking about cookies here. Your asset is that cookie recipe.
Yes.
Colonel Sanders had a recipe which was 12 herbs and spices. That was an asset that he had that other people didn't have, right? So when he went around to talk to these, okay, because my husband's aunt was one of the first people who worked with Colonel Sanders in Salt Lake City in California.
Oh, okay.
So he had this recipe and he would go to these different restaurants to collaborate with them to carry his chicken recipe and to do the KFC in their restaurant.
To do the KFC procedure the way that he did the chicken.
Yeah, how he cooked it and everything.
That was a system.
That was his system, and that was his asset. That they cook the chicken a certain way with these spices.
Right. Because otherwise, I know how to make chicken and you make it your way. And you're like, well, it doesn't taste like his. Well, because he has a system. Mm-hmm. See? There's a way to do things. So, the thing about people going, I want to go viral. And then they never think about what happens after they're going viral. And then today, the way the algorithm is set up, you don't need to go viral. You just need a certain amount of views. Because your goal is what? To build the asset of the email list. See? Build the email list. Why? Because once you put them on your list, you're going to have a way to communicate them outside of the video or the piece of content that you made, because they might not see your content again. They might not follow you.
But you now have a direct access to them by sending them something in an email.
Yeah.
Or now you can send it to them directly instead of hoping they see it.
Because you can make more content and they might see that. But like Fran said, you have them. There's no, it's like a real brick and mortar store, when the jewelry store off of Main Street and so you put out a sign, 50% sale, whatever you've done to get the attention of the people walking by or driving, they come in. And they go, I'm just looking at whatever. And do you let them leave? No, they came in, this interest. So you let that, you don't push them, sell, whatever, but you do say, hey, before you leave, here's a card, or have an app, blah, 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 or get on the list because your birthday comes up, I send you something, or you get a chance to, whatever it is. You don't let them leave. Okay, well, I looked around, bye, and you go, bye.
No, let me get your name and number. Perhaps I'll have something for you in the future.
Yeah, let me know what you're interested in. I might be able to get it for you. Like I said, you put them on the list. I do sales every week. You might want something next week or next month or whatever. They may have an occasion to where they have to buy jewelry for someone instead of themselves. But you got the connection and you pull them in. Amazon's real good at this. I'm not going into the politics of Amazon. I'm just saying Amazon is real good at the distribution of goods and the connection of you to Amazon. Because
Yep.
if you look at something, if you put something in your cart and don't buy it, what does Amazon do? Man, they send
Hey,
you emails.
you were looking at that over there. It's still over here in your cart. You could.
I got pop-ups on my phone. Ooh, do not join Woot, because Woot, WOOT, they're I forgot what it is. Is it their
It's I think
wholesale thing, or
I
when
don't
they
know.
have, I forgot what it is, but they have extras or whatever. So they send you, ooh, you got this and that, but you gotta buy it right because they have limited quantities, and it keeps popping up. And I'm like, man, I was not shopping today, Amazon, but you pulled me in with this thing. Then they got one called Haul, HAUL. That's their like 99-cent store. And these things keep popping up.
But they have you with your data, and they've seen how
Prime membership. If you got Prime, you because you're really into that because there's no, you got the benefits, so you really want to shop, and they remove the barriers. Oh, my phone is sorry, everybody.
So they keep, and I think we should kind of look at that when we are setting our stuff up. How can I bake these great cookies? I need people to, when they walk by or they got the free sample like at Costco, I need them to sign up.
Yeah, you're not going to let them walk away. You're not. Please do not let someone view your content and you don't offer a way for a connection, because you're hoping, well, they saw it once, they'll see it again. How do you know? You can't guarantee, you can't build on that. You cannot rely on that. You must have a call. It could be soft. It doesn't have to be buy. See, everybody thinks you got to buy, you got to hit it over the head with the buy hammer.
So it was something like you said with the birthday list.
Yes.
You just ask somebody, okay,
Gentle.
hey, we give out, you can get free, we give away free cookies on your birthday. Get a free cookie on your birthday.
It's your birthday. Who doesn't want a free thing on your birthday? And you don't give out your whole birth date. You give out the day, the month and the day.
And people are, and they fill it out.
If it's something you want, you will be attracted to that. It's free and it's something for you on your special birthday, on your day.
Like there's this, Lush is a soap company.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And they got really fragrant soaps, and they're natural. And if you are looking for all natural, blah 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 blah, and fragrant and da, you can sign up and they will send you coupons and stuff, get a free soap.
This is why we have we have the email list for that. We have loyalty programs. It used to be a little card that you took into the store and they would punch it. Now it's through the app. There's so many apps, especially for ordering food like real quickly. Like, okay, I don't feel like cooking. Let me get that. I can go. The Popeyes app says, well, you have 2,000 points. You get a free chicken sandwich. Hey, give me the free chicken. It might not be healthy, but it's something that I need easy, quick, and it's free because I bought from you before. McDonald's is the same thing. A lot of the apps do the same thing, but some of the loyalty points expire. And some don't. I think Popeyes is the one that it doesn't expire, so it kind of builds up. So if you're real quick,
so at some point they're going to get you. Meaning, let them keep letting it build up. Let them stay on your list. They just let her stay there. She gonna want a chicken sandwich.
It's a way it's a way to draw you back in, because again, Popeyes good chicken, but it's not healthy. But when you want something, you have it. So they need a way for you to go, well, because I have those loyalty points sitting over there.
I am not pulling out cash.
I can get a free meal. I don't have to spend my money. I don't have to do anything but open the app, tap, buy, and it says you're ready, and you go to the counter and pick it up. I love it. It's the convenience of it. Now, I'm not saying I eat at Popeyes all the time. I don't. Sometimes I make my own chicken, but sometimes you don't want. That's why it's called fast food. Sometimes you don't want to. Well, I gotta go to the store and I gotta buy chicken, or I gotta order it and it comes to me, but I still have to cook it. And sometimes you don't want to do that.
So once you get a person, they become an asset. Your clients become an asset to you. And now you have to know how to connect with them in a way that they stay an asset.
Yes. See, thank you for bringing that up. So let's get to Dr. Tati's comment, and then I'll give you the.
Yeah, Dr. Tati says exactly. Folks love to tap and buy.
Because it's convenient.
And that's the thing, right? Not having to drive all the way in or what. Okay, I wanted to get something from Apple and I did not want to make the trip 10 miles to go get the whatever it was. They had it where I can go online and they delivered it to me.
Yeah.
I was like, what? And you'll bring it to my house in 2 hours? Oh,
removing the roadblocks, removing the hurdles. They think about, they have a persona. This is our customer. What does our customer do? What are the pain points? What are the things they wish that they didn't have to do? And we remove the roadblocks.
Dr. Tati says, more and more, I also don't want to be bothered with talking to people when purchasing. If you order from home, they can leave it in a designated place and you don't even have to see them.
Hey, I'm with you. I love that. It's like, because I can look when I go through Grubhub or whoever, not often because the fees are crazy, but they have an option, contactless. I don't have to open the door. I don't have to do this. I like Dr. Tati said, I don't have to look at you. I don't have to say anything. It just left at the door. And the guy delivering it sends me a text message saying, hey, your delivery. And I open the door, it's right there. Mm-hmm. My neighbor down the hall does it all the time. There's always food like hanging on their door. And I'm like, but I wouldn't leave it there. And see, our building's pretty good. So it's not like somebody's coming to steal it, but it's just, I'm like, I wouldn't leave it hanging on my door like they do. They always leave stuff in front of the door. And I'm like, okay. All right. Don't do that. Cause that's kind of like leaving the cheese out for the mouse. If the mouse is around. We don't want to do that. So, but I love that. So it's like, you don't want to be bothered. These are things that that corporation businesses study. How do we remove the roadblocks? How do we remove those things to make it easier? The path to purchase. The path to purchase. How do we get them to buy? When you go in the grocery store physically, or you go into Walmart or any other stores, if you go to the checkout, well, you have to stand, not the self-service one, but you have to stand, which those are kind of, a lot of people don't want to do that, but you're standing in line waiting for the cashier to do whatever. What's there? Gum and magazines and candy and little knickknacks and little things to drive parents crazy. When you got kids with you, it's like you weren't thinking about those things because you came in for the one or two things that you want. That's why the self-serve checkout is so popular, because I just listen, all of the things that they throw in front of you, the end caps, the things you got to walk around, the sales, the blah, blah, blah. No, I came in for bread and milk and I'm leaving with bread and milk.
Yep, that's the gauntlet. You got to walk through the gauntlet to make it. See if you can make it out the store without putting another thing in the basket.
The supermarkets, they know that they have people, that's their job. What can we put in front of them? Because they're coming in for bread and milk all the way over there, way over. They're not the front. They're not in the front. The stuff that's on sale, the lady with the free samples, the this, that, and the other, that they want to slow you down. And why? More revenue, more money. Instead of bread and milk, you leaving with a whole bunch of stuff. They know what they're doing. They know what to do. So that's why it's like we love the convenience of the tap and buy or the app or the this and the that. But then when a business does that, they have to do more, as then Fran was saying, about getting your birthday, getting to this, getting to that, getting you into the loyalty program. So you will come back.
Right.
You will come back, and the little things on your phone will pop up to get you to come back. You abandoned your cart. Amazon loves to do that. Oh, you were looking at this. They love to send me, you were looking at this. It's on sale. The price is reduced. Why are they doing that? Because they're like, well, in case you didn't like the price, it's reduced now. You might want to buy it. I'm like, thank you, Amazon. Thank you. And Amazon's not the only one. A lot of other businesses do that. But they have, they have departments where they have people where they study that. It's psychological triggers, psychographics. They know their customer intimately. They keep up with what the customer is doing. They keep up with what's happening now, where the customer is, where the roadblocks to keep them from coming to the store, but they may go to the website or the app. So there's different things for mobile versus the website, because those are two different types of people. See, the behavioral studies. They have people that have behavioral studies.
Because it's changed over the years. We are not going from the farm and going to the general store, picking up all the supplies and coming back.
Right
now, we can sit at home, call Mrs. McGregor, tell her to bring me some green beans or what. It's totally different now. Because that whole farm, try and go to the grocery store. You went to town once a month to stock up on your stuff, coffee and beans.
Listen, I'll keep bringing this up. I still remember the conversation we had before the pandemic when Amazon was doing the Amazon Fresh thing and building it up. I had a conversation online with a bunch of people that was like, ain't nobody gonna do no Amazon Fresh because I like to go to my grocery store and pick and here came the pandemic. It's like, well, you can't go to the grocery store. How are you going to get your food? Oh, Amazon Fresh, Instacart, all of these online shopping. But before the pandemic, it was not a big thing. It wasn't a big thing because people wanted to touch I need to go and get this. Now I see so many people online complaining about, well, they didn't bring this or they switched that or this and that. It's just because they're doing the online cart shopping and it comes to us. And I knew that was going to, because it's convenient. Anything that's convenient for us, you have a busy life, you have a job, you have kids, you're taking care of elderly parents, whatever you're doing something, taking care of, going shopping, taking the kids to this, that, and the other. You don't have time.
And see, that's an asset. When you're talking about building the asset, Instacart built an asset, which was convenience.
Yeah.
Amazon Fresh built an asset as part of their thing. It's convenient. Because I remember when it first started, DoorDash was not that popular.
No, none of these delivery services, but here came the pandemic. And that just everything. Yeah. The delivery system changed for the better, I would say, for the better. But, it's all these fees. But if you can get past the fees.
I was like, oh, so Uber Eats said, if you take a ride in Uber, they give you points toward your Uber Eats, or if you order from Instacart, you get points toward Uber Eats and stuff. See? I'm like, they're not low enough for me yet. So,
but see, those are the incentives for you to buy. The loyalty system, the point system, the get on. Those are they're all building up their assets. See, they know. Because if because and this is the thing, the smart ones will be online on social media seeing what people are complaining about, or they're going to Amazon and reading the reviews and seeing what people are unhappy with, and then you fix it, and then you say that you fixed it, and then you may charge a little extra, but somebody might pay that for the convenience. Like I said, with the feed, you might want to eat, but it's like, well, okay, it's raining hard. I don't, you kind of weigh it. So, but that's, that all of these things about building the asset. So you want to build the asset because we're in a different place now to where your content can be seen anytime, any place, by anywhere. It used to be, what's the best time to post on Instagram? Whenever you want. Well, how do I know? Well, generally, if you're, there's still a 9 to 5 office system. So if you might want to do that, but you don't have to stick with that. And the more posts you make, analytics will tell you this is the best time for you to post to reach your particular audience. So we don't need any more the gurus. Well, the best time to post on Instagram is between 9 and 11. I'm like, the best time to post on Instagram is whenever you have some time to make the post, but it's the right post for the right person.
Right. That part.
Instagram's going to deliver it to that person regardless of time.
Huh.
So,
and then you can ask your digital assistant because they know you, right?
That too. But you don't have to rely on all that. All you need to do is build a system. Okay, so just a little bit before we wrapped it up. So, you're building an asset, but the second part, well, not the second part. The other part of it is the trust part, and we talked about a little bit of it now about nurturing the community, building the customer journey.
Yes.
Okay. You built the asset, you got them on your list, you've done the whatever, you have a way to connect with them, but you're connecting in the right way that they want. You're not annoying them, because this is a journey. It doesn't stop because, well, I got them on my email list. Well, you had to decide how much you're going to email. What are you going to say? It has to be of value, because you want to keep them in the system you want to keep them from unsubscribing. You want to do things of value. See that, back to that asset of value now and in the future. It provides value now and in the future. So you're not going to be able to keep people from unsubscribing. That's just a thing. I see people online. Oh, I had to. The connection is broken because of maybe what you said or did or them, but that wasn't a good fit. So you move on.
Right.
You keep building the list.
That is good, because I'm on somebody's list. One, I don't know how I got on this list. I'm like, who are these people talking to me?
Some of them, yeah. I'm like, how did I get on this? I don't remember signing up for this. Don't do that, people.
No. And then there are people, there are other lists that I have been on for years, but never pay attention to the content, and maybe I signed up for something that they were doing previously, but they're no longer doing.
Right.
And so there's that.
Yeah. And then remember, if you do Substack, Substack has a thing that is like, if you like this person, you may like that. And if you're not careful, you're signed up to all of that. That means emails are coming to you. So I'm real careful about, you might like this, follow these people. I'm like, nope, because I'll check them out later. But I'm not. Yes. I'm not mass following just because I follow this one person. So that's one of the Substack things I don't like. Like
right, and yeah, I'm like, I don't like that. No, yeah, I need to vet the people I'm following. Do I want to hear from you whenever you're posting something? I don't know, because I don't read everybody's stuff. But the people who I do follow, I want their stuff to come to the top.
Yeah.
And so I can read their stuff, and I go click and read it when.
And another thing, Substack, I like that if you want to put out a new, you want to do a post, you don't have to email it to your followers. You could just post it. I love that too.
Right. I like that too. You have a quick something you want to say.
Yeah, you don't have to send it to bombard them.
Right. And Dr. Tati says, yes, let me just follow who I came to follow.
Right. I'm like, if you're not careful, you're going to click on something and you're following 10 people. I'm like, well, I don't know these people. No, I can't.
And because that's where the noise comes from. Right. You're getting a lot of stuff coming at you, but it wasn't anything particular that you wanted to hear. So now the stuff you really want to hear is hard to get through because you got all this other stuff.
Right.
And
Now, I've done that by accident and followed, and I'm like, okay, well, they're providing something I want. I might stick around, but I'm just like, let me decide.
right.
Let me decide first. But, people on Substack love that because they're like, oh, well, I get more people on my list. And I'm like, well, you want the people that want to be on your list.
That part.
It's a small, it doesn't have, my list has to be 10,000 people, but some of that is bots, some of that is people that, like I just said, Substack puts them on without them paying attention, and they go, well, how did I get this? And they get mad and unsubscribe. You don't want that. You want people that want to be connected to you. And how do you do that? You're going to do the things. You're going to make the content, provide the value of your assets, building your assets where people want to be connected to you. They want to be connected. That's what you want. Not just, let me put the net in and get all of the fish. I don't care what kind of fish in there. And you're specifically wanting tuna, but I'm just going to put the net in the ocean, just get anything.
I don't want to eat everything that's in that net.
There's some things in there I just can't eat. I don't want that. I just want the tuna.
Yeah.
You got to do those things. But the trust part, that you want to build the trust capital. That's the consistency, the specificity. You want to be, specific. Now the consistency part of it, like I said, the post at a certain time and this and that. Just make sure that you're putting up content that's of value, because the way the algorithms work now, it's going to connect it to the people that really want it based on those users and the signals that they give to the platform. Because I went on Facebook today for something popped up on my phone, and I went to Facebook, and then I saw something and I read it, and then Facebook said, are you interested in this? Because we'll show you more. And I was like, yes. And it said, good, we'll show you more. But see, those things pop up to say Facebook is like being really concerned about, is this something I like? And it's somebody I'm following. But it asked me again, are you interested in this post? And I was like, yeah.
Yes.
And if I'm not, I would have said no. And it would have said, okay, we're not going to show you any more of that. YouTube does it also. Not interested. Oh, I love that. Not interested.
Yep. And it keeps down the noise. It keeps my okay. You know how you used to get magazines come to the house, and you got this stack of magazines, and you're like, what is all of this? It keeps all of that down. I don't have a bunch of stuff that I'm not reading.
Right. Okay, so let's wrap it up, because I think everybody got the gist of it. Building the asset, building the thing that provides monetary value, provides value for your business now and in the future. The intangible assets, that's your IP, intellectual property, the things that you think of using the tools that we have now. That's your customer list, email list, CRM, all the things that you own. That was, getting a little bit into own media, but that's what we want to focus on now. Why? Because you can build these assets, and then you go, well, I need more people to see it. That's when you take it to social media and you go over here and you make your posts.
Right.
And you make it in such a way to where they consume your content, but there's a call to action. It could be soft. Ask your tool. I want to have a soft CTA. I don't want to sell because I feel icky. Whatever the reason, I'm just throwing out words. But whatever the reason you have, say, I don't want to sound salesy. I don't want to be, whatever. It will help you with that. It will say, sure, I got you. And if you trained it and you used it a while and it knows your brand voice, it knows exactly what to say in your voice. And you could tweak it. You always want to tweak it. Everybody, tweak your AI responses. Do not copy and paste, man. It has caught a whole bunch of people. So use it, refine your message, fine tune, but build your asset, because that is the way to grow.
Wow. Woo, thank you, TJ. Now, you can always find TJ at terryjohnsononline.com/info. Yes. Go there, get connected, ask questions. She loves answering questions. So
I
go
do. I
there.
really do. I mean,
And
some people go there that they don't want to answer questions from anybody, but I'm like, that's where I get the information of what is your concern, what is bothering you, what are you thinking about, what you know or don't know. You have to ask the question.
so be sure to do that. Connect with TJ, and she'll be here next week. So bring your questions for next week. And then also on Friday, we will be doing Tech Life Weekly, where we get into what is happening in social media, what's happening in tech, what's happening in media, and because every week there's something happening. We are in a place where the trains are moving a lot faster than they were. So you need to
there's
keep up.
There's some things going on with ChatGPT and Claude.
There's all kind of stuff happening. We watching. This is like, oh my gosh, you don't need to watch the soap operas anymore. You can watch what's happening in the world of AI world.
AI wars. Things.
Yes. So we encourage you to come back and see us again. Become a part of the Bizchicks community. You can go to bizchicks.net to do that, or you can simply text biz to 33777. However you get there, we thank you for becoming a part of our community. We are here to help you take the hassle out of your hustle, and we will see you next time. Thank you for tuning in, everybody. Thank you, TJ.
Everybody.
Thank you, Dr. Tachi.
Thank you for tuning in today. We trust you've learned something to help you build a more profitable business and take the hassle out of your hustle. See you next time.